So let's do our start of the day analysis here. So these are our weekly price targets here, high and low of prior week. Now, last week was the second consecutive outside bar. So what we're looking for here is it ended green. Looks like. Let me turn off this. Yep, it ended green. So really, what we're looking for is it to break either side of the range here and go 2 up on the week. And then as long as it's over that 2 up on the week, then we're in force to continue going long, and really only looking for longs. As long as we're inside here, we're really making moves to predict a break of those two sides, right? So if we're gonna go short, we're looking to go short and try to break 372 on the week. Now obviously a almost 800 point range is going to be a tough ask for NQ. It can happen. It's got to get directional. So and then we'll look at news here. So news on the week. Kind of full. So here's news on the week. Let me just make sure it's not moving crazy while I'm in here. It's not. Okay. So news on the week, we've got consumer confidence tomorrow and durable good orders. Prelim GDP on Wednesday, core price index on Thursday, and unemployment claims. Friday is revised consumer sentiment at 10. So Friday is a no trade until 10 day, unless you're break even on a trade before 10 o'clock. And then you can, as long as you have the resting order, then I think it's okay to swing through that. But for today, we have nothing. We have new home sales, which is orange folder. So orange folder, typically for me, I'm looking at as it'll increase volatility for that. It's something to watch. It's certainly something that I don't want to be entering a trade at 9:59. But let's say that I can get into a trade and get break even before 10, then perfect. But it's not a day like CPI or NFP where I'm absolutely not trading until that's over, which I typically don't trade pre-market anyway, but you get what I mean. Or let's say FOMC. I'm not trading that or getting into any sort of trade before FOMC. So that's our news lineup. So now we'll drop down to the daily. Last day we had a failed 2 up. So we have a 2 down right now. So as long as we're under 17,946, this would be our trigger. Daily trigger. So as long as we're doing that, let me change these to weekly price target. And same thing here. Hide this for now. So then we're going to go, if we're going 2 down, according to the strat, our target or our price target for the day would be here. Price target. Not necessarily for the day today, but for the daily chart. So our price target for the daily chart would be where I just put it. So right now we're hovering above it, which means that another level we want to watch for is the 50% level, which is going to be at 18,045. So I'll just throw a random one in there. Go to my coordinates, go to 18,045.50, and then mark this as outside bar. And go over. So if we are over that line there, which is pretty much where we tapped, If we can close over that line with some candles, then we're looking for an outside bar on the daily. Drop down to the hourly. Mark out some PD arrays. So we have one here, fair value gap that has been respected so far. And then we've got a couple here that I'll mark out. I'll just mark out the zone because that little space between won't impact my trading. Got another one here. Oops, did that price one. So one more fair value gap here. Then I'll look to the upside. Kind of chopping right before that news comes out, I think. So no rush at all to be in something. So as far as this is the weekly all-time highs, we do have an order block here that kind of wicked above and tapped 144. Now I bet there's a ton of liquidity at 18,150 and just resting there, but obviously we have a lot more liquidity to the downside since we've made such a dramatic move since Wednesday of last week, and those are kind of our levels. So we're looking at where's price going, how's it going to get there. If I'm looking to go 2-2 reversal on the day, I'm looking to go short. We just entered into a 1 hour fair value gap, so now I'm dropping down to the 1, 5, and 15 and looking for entry short, unless we're over this outside bar. If we're over this outside bar and closing, then I'm looking for outside bar trades, so longs to be targeting another 100 points. That's where we're at. Any questions?
It all sounds pretty good.
Okie dokie. Morning, Deontay and PJ.
Hey, Jess, could you go over how you got that 1 hour outside bar marked?
That's a daily.
Okay.
Yep. So I took the yesterday, which was right here. Took the high on the bottom of yesterday, which was actually Friday, but yesterday in the trading world, and then marked out the high on the bottom, and then found the 50%, which is at 18,045.50. And then I threw on just a line here, so you can just throw on a horizontal line, and then right click it or get into its settings, and then go to coordinates and change the price bar.
Sweet, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. 2 minutes till news. It's growing around here. 2-1, 2 down. ES hitting off a fair value gap. And Q also hitting off a fair value gap. Well, the daily, but so let's go here. Just waiting on news. One more thing before we start getting into trading. If you were live with me last week, on Friday, you saw that I went in with half size with a 20-point stop, and then I would add in and make it into a 10-point stop to keep the risk the same. I really liked that because I was struggling with getting, sniper entries, and whether it's chop or volatile, a 10-point stop was just very difficult for me to get in. And so I think I'm going to try that again this week and see how it goes. Certainly looking short here. Orange folder news isn't like red folder news where I'm careful for 15 minutes.
Order filled.
Gonna go ahead and get short here, 71.50, 20 points. Sitting under VWAP. Wonder if it's going to go up for one of these two fair value gaps before going down. Working on getting a little less break evens in my trades too, so just going to hold this until stop loss or TP. The 2 up seems a little bit like a nail in the coffin.
Order filled.
All right, stopped out there. Just wicked out. Just wicked out. Inside bar here on the 15 is the only thing causing me to not be super interested in just jumping back in. ES 212 down. I'll grab some liquidity there from the 945 push down, but my idea here is that if it does break down, if it gives out 60s, it's going to give out 46 as well. If it gives out 46, then it's probably going for low of day. So that the risk to reward to get a short going here is a good risk to reward. Nothing really stopping us on the 5 minute now. The 15 minute. Now the 5 minute has a few fair value gaps. So it has one here at 64 and another one here that's kind of been wicked into at 70s, but certainly still looking short, and will be looking short until we're above 18.045 because of the strat signal that we have on the daily chart. 2-2 reversal here on the 5 now. Lots of Scott wicks here at the bottom. Just big wicks at the bottom here.
Accountant. So, she's a very cool woman, very cool lady. So, yeah, but I do have a separate area. So in a way, that whole apartment upstairs, that's where I trade. I just kind of set myself up in the living room. I mean, I have done streams. It was about a month ago, I think. I was there. So I did do the whole top step from Belgrade. Yeah. Risk reward I have. Okay, that's looking okay. So, if we get to about 77.41, I'll be happy with that. I am looking for the price of this.
Also a good idea to, from time to time, look at the Mag 7 to see how strong or weak they are. So had a pretty good move down here on 4 of the 5 of them. Or sorry, 4 of the 6 that I see. The one I'm not looking at is Google. And yeah, pretty open, a little red back here. So as long as they start curling up, then I think it's safe for longs. Obviously still looking to wait until above 18.045 for that. Let's get our opening range. This is the opening range. If you want to go 9:45 to 10 o'clock, it'd be the bottom of that, this low here. About there. Okay, now we're above 18,000. Well, that was a weird number to say. 1,800 or 18,000. We are 2 up now on the 15. Certainly looking along, just back inside that opening range. Coming here to test 18,000. 111 lots sitting at 95 and 100 lots sitting at 13. Oh, they're pushing it up, 16s. New 5-minute candle here. 5 minutes left on this 15er. Working on being patient. So really only looking for an A plus setup to either break this outside bar or go back to my daily trigger. But we are in the opening range, so got to be mindful of some chop in this area. Deontay said QQQ has a holy grail on the 4 hour. I am not sure what that setup is, but I will peek at the 4 hour. Yeah, nothing super clean now. If you're trading ICT, this revisit up here after the change of character might be interesting for shorts. Especially after liquidity sweep here, change of character here, left for value up here, tapped into it. So you're probably peeking at shorts if you're trading strictly ICT, if I had to guess. I don't trade strictly ICT, so I'm not the one to ask, but that is what I would be looking for. One minute wicked into that break of structure fair value gap. Looking bullish again. Two and a half minutes left on this 15-minute candle.
Order filled.
Looking long here for the outside bar on the 5. Piecing in here in at 10.25, 20 points. Didn't quite get it there. 1 minute left. If this flips back to a red candle, I'll probably hop out half hour. Sitting at break even right now. All right, hopping out break even here. It might move, but I'll wait for the 5. Took a partial loss there. No biggie. Ended up being about 3 points. Didn't get the outside bar like I was looking. New 15-minute here in 10 seconds that I... Ooh, good thing I got out. The idea there was that we'd go something like this. 2 up on the outside bar on this current 5-minute candle. And then go out for the outside bar on where I have the 50% retrace marked out. But if we start to hold under 18,000, then we're back to a short bias. Anything between this yellow and purple bar is really trying to just predict the trigger of those two. So risky, but if you piece into a trade, I think it's all right. It's a 3-1 strat setup. Where at? I don't see a 3. I'm thinking this is ES looks short. Check the daily here. New 15er here. Oh, the 3-1 is called a Holy Grail by the strat. It's not on this one. Not sure where you're seeing it. My 4-hour shows a failed 2. Oh, on QQQ 4-hour. That was the issue. 3-1. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I don't really look at the 4-hour for. Well, I really don't look at ETFs anyway, but at the 4-hour on them anyway. ES Delta's fallen pretty quickly here. Still just watching, being patient. Nothing smacking me in the eyeballs to get into a trade right now. Failed 2 on ES might be interesting. There is some strength there out of that fair value gap on NQ. Possibly a 2-1-2 up play here on the 1 minute, leading into a 5 minute up.
Order filled.
Piecing in here, 24, 20-point stop. Sort of struggling here. Finger on the trigger if we don't start getting some nice candles. We're sitting in this 1 minute order block and a 5 and the high day. Well, almost high up day.
You like dodgy dance music? Yes.
Delta. Delta in the S&P is negative. 2,200.
Ooh. John, I have a question about Delta. Is there a particular number that you look for if you're going to include it in your trade decision?
Not necessarily a particular number, but if Delta's congruent direction and Delta's really strong, don't step in front of it. It's usually an indication of
1 minute left here. Probably not going to let this go if it goes to break even. Just looks like a pivot machine gun.
Order filled.
Almost got 10 points there, but I'm closing down. Back to watching. Failed 2 on ES on the 5 minute there. And Q Delta is good. It's definitely leaning long right now. So I think that it could be the right play. It's just not moving as quickly as I typically like, but might need to just give it some room to breathe next trade. 4 minutes left on this 15-minute candle.
Order filled.
Gonna start long here, 32.50 for 20.
Order filled.
Gonna add in here, average up to 35. Now moving up to 10 points.
So by the way, I've got the fringe jacket, tassels. So somebody said it's rodeo time for the next 3 weeks. So I figured, hey, you can go out again. Let's look the part.
Right back to break even.
Order filled.
Covering there, all out. All right, well, that's my second break even, so I'm going to wait for either a break over the outside bar or daily trigger now. Just to make sure I'm not going to overtrade at all. I think this range is pretty much, I think it's correct. We're above it and we could go see higher, and below it we'll see lower. But right now we're right in the middle of it. Minute 50 left on this 15-minute candle. And a 30-minute, actually, because it's going to be 10:30. ES starting to look a little bit more attractive. I'm going to mark these levels real quickly on ES as well. All right, now I have the equivalents for ES. ES looks a little bit lower than... Oh, I need the trigger. Sorry. Trigger. There we go. So we have ES there at top. All of ES's triggers for daily and weekly. ES looks real weak. It's new 15. This is just the first minute of the 15-minute open. So got to be a little bit careful still inside. 15-minute 92 is the low of last minute last 15-minute candle. 18041s is high. So when one of those breaks, then we'll have a 2-2. Yes, wicked below low of day there. So immediately, as soon as it wicks below and doesn't close, we're looking for a reversal to the upside. Want to see a break of structure here, fair value gap left behind, and then enter on the fair value gap. But if it starts to break under, then we're looking for a breakout trade short. That is where my mindset is. And then again, ES and NQ both are inside of their first half hour opening range.
When you said it was powdered donuts, was it?
I think it was. They serve those in the morning next to the bar, right next to the bar. It's kind of odd how they have it with your
Yeah,
coffee.
because I worked in a prop trading company where somebody had the same problem, but it definitely wasn't powdered donuts. Let's just put it that way.
Nose donuts. Sting and Johnny Cash on the way down. Oh my God. What a lonely place. And he had such big hands. He'd pull you in. What's the bid? What's the offer? And he'd be like, I don't know, 80 bid. He's like,
So that first minute of that 15-minute candle pushed us all the way down here, stopped at a fair value gap, and now we're looking to the upside. That's why I typically want to be not into a trade or not entering a trade right before the 15-minute open. You're going to get some sort of manipulation. Sometimes that manipulation goes your way, but just got to be mindful of that. ES did go 3-1-2 down on the 30-minute chart. NQ probably didn't because it was still inside here. So we've got 41s again, and then 70s is the low of the last 30-minute candle. We were inside on that candle.
coolest part about these brokers, like, kids would be quiet, and then they're like, you see a huge order, or you'd hear it in their voice, and it was just such a cool feeling because you know it's huge, and you know if you're standing on the middle or the top step, you're getting laid up. Bottom step guys, that's why the net company's name stops step. The biggest and best traders stood on the top step of the pits. We came from the trading pits, and yeah, if you're on the bottom step, you are not getting looked at. When you get in, I'll take 5, I'll take 2. There'd be people like, I'll take 2, and it's like, get out of here. They wouldn't even trade with them. Get out of here. I'll take 100. All right,
Really?
sold.
Wow.
Across the pit. Oh yeah, they wouldn't mess around with that. If they have a big order, John, you wouldn't do that, would you?
No, I would try not to, but sometimes you have to.
All right, just going to still stick to my saying I'm going to wait until one of these either outside bar or daily trigger hits.
We had 2,000 lot in the S&Ps, and my partner took 1,000.
That's what I'm waiting on.
And it was like a FOMC meeting. So, and the customer's like, you're held on this. You got to get them done. You know, if you screw it up, you're screwed. So I took 1,000, he took 1,000. So the number comes out, and the minis rally like 10 points through our offer. So I'm
Oh my God.
1,000 at even, 1,000 at even, and I'm thinking, you know, I'll probably get 500 or 600 lots, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, and they're coming at me with 20s, 20. All right, 20, 20. So now you're trying to keep a kind of a running count in your head.
2-2 reversal there on the 5-minute.
He would probably take 500 of them. I looked at him. I'm like, 500. And he just looked at me like this. Like, you. I mean, guys were taking,
Order filled.
20 and 50 lots and making.
Well, why would they just say sold? Because it's going through your money. It's going through your offer.
Right. But then they have to get out on the other side. So if there's 2,000 on the offer, you know, that's what is that? 10,000 minis. So you get 10,000 minis coming in to sell it.
Yeah.
That could bring it right back down through where the offer was. You could lose money on that. So guys were just taking little bites of it. Took like
I
maybe
think
a minute to fill that.
High day here sitting at 50s.
You would have to sweep the screen. Screw that little 50 lot. If we're talking about the story of John, like when I put on the 50 lot or
Delta kind of equal low there on that low. Delta's still grinding up. If we do break higher, I want to see Delta increase as well, or else it's a low buyer volume move up. 15 still looks real good for a high day move. Wait, where's my outside bar on? Outside on the 15 on ES there. Minute 40 left on this 5-minute candle. $17. 30 seconds on this 5-minute candle.
Order filled.
Another failed here on the 5-minute. Back-to-back faileds.
Chop City.
Yep, certainly looking short again now. About to get another fail too on the 5. But at least I'm staying out of it this time. That is progress. Good for my P&L and my mental sake. Certainly leaning short, especially if this 18,000 can give out. But big wick there on the one. 3 minutes left on a 15-minute inside.
Do you work in months? Because mine is like 4 quarters is 4 weeks in a month, and then each week. So like the beginning of February is like, okay, this is the first quarter of a basketball, 4 quarters. I don't know, a basketball game has 4 quarters, and I used to play sports, so I'm like, okay, it's the beginning of the month, and it's got to be even the scratch for the first week. I'm totally stoked, and even the next week, if it's like scratch with a little bit more, it's just trying to keep your scratching, and then next thing you know, if you do find yourself in a hole like January after the first week, I found myself in a hole. Then I started chasing it because I didn't want to be down. Then I got worse. Then by the end of the month, I just
Wow, actually, I didn't even see these. We have 4 back-to-back failed twos, and we're working on our 5th right now.
Let's continue. I knew that statistically February is never a great month for me, but I was like, okay, it'll be fine. And then I wanted to chase, and partly it was because we are here, there is pressure, so it'd be nice to say that it's not affecting any
2 minutes left on the inside bar on the 15. ES looking short on an outside bar on the 15. But NQ looks like it wants high a day. ES is under the Delta EMA that I have, so really should be short, and NQ is above. So a day of divergence here. A day of divergence.
Things are not working out and you know that you've had profit targets that are just not being reached, that's a problem either with a trade location or it's a problem with the market itself. So, or it could be both, obviously. But keeping in mind that longer term picture is definitely what's going to get you out of the mindset of sitting there and just getting yourself into a very deep hole week after week after week after week. You're just going, hold on, let's see where I am on the week, where I'm on the month, where I am on the year. And it's amazing how much it unglues you from the whole, oh, I need to make this much. I've always said to my students, listen, look at how you do as a whole.
Still just watching, being patient. If I only take 1 trade today, that's a huge win for me. I'm totally okay with that.
How far up you are or what kind of capital you have to protect. But when you zoom out, it all becomes much clearer, right? And it's helped me so much to not carry on trading when I have the down months, because it's like it's not about making trades, right? It's about taking the right opportunities.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Isaac, you're in here talking about being or trying to put up at least 5Gs. Be careful, my friend. This is a marathon, not a race. Do whatever you want to do.
Famous last
Proving
words.
yourself. Yeah. Yeah. So, just this is us being trading buddies. Be careful with that one. Yep. Ribs.
Yeah,
I
no
am
expectations.
chewing.
Don't have any expectations. Just take what the market gives you. Don't shoot for any arbitrary figure.
5 failed twos in a row. Inside bar on the 15. I'm certainly leaning more short than long after that recent 5-minute close, but if we start to inch downwards, then a 2-1-2 down would be a strat setup. Only issue is it's in the chop box.
But there's also times when it's very quiet and you're literally trying to squeeze blood out of a stone. Like, just don't do it,
Calzone said starting to think to skip Mondays. I feel like my stats said that Mondays were not horrible for me.
As far as like, I don't have really any point, except just to let you know I'm right there. Yeah, it's with dog. Right.
Can't remember where it's at, but I'll look at what I did last Monday. So I don't think it was poor. Yeah, I got chopped up a little bit on Monday, but hit a couple for 2R. Monday before got chopped up a little bit, but hit an 8.5 R. Monday before that. Oh, wait, what? No, the 12th was. Yeah, Mondays aren't typically bad for me. But you got to keep true to your own stats for sure. Right now, certainly looking long, but that 2 did not have a lot of volume in it. Still chopping. Staying out of this for now. If we can crack 18,045 and hold, very interested. If not, very uninterested. Two there on the 5. Still inside on the 15. Yes, under low of day though. Very different price action from Friday, where we were pretty much moving 20 points every 1 minute candle. At least when I was trading right here.
constructive feedback, definitely email it into us. Definitely share it on the feedback or on the link on Top Step X if you have that for Top Step X or for the program in general or things like that. That helps because when you go on and people, somebody's like, well, the CEO wants me to
2.5 minutes on this.
but there's so
Failed 2. Currently a failed 2.
almost 20
Yes, didn't quite wick under this pre-market low at 8 o'clock. Delta still bullish on, or sorry, still bearish on ES and still bullish on NQ for now. NQ found a little bit of a lower low there on Delta, even on this slightly lower high. Back in force on the 2-2 reversal.
Yeah, constructive. There's a difference between constructive feedback and just nonsense feedback. So if you have nonsense feedback, there's just usually just trolls. Well, they don't like it. But constructive feedback is actually really useful.
Yeah, if I go on a restaurant review and anybody's like, "Oh, the service is," I don't care. But if they go, "The food is bad," the food is bad. That's what I
Yeah.
need. Great food. Got it. Nowadays, gotta have good food.
Yeah, especially yes. Bourdain would talk about that all the time. One Yelp review can ruin an entire restaurant.
Yes. Oh yeah, Bourdain said that. He hated it.
Bourdain would always, yeah, he hated Yelpers.
R.I.P. Man. That was a big one of the biggest shockers.
Yeah, man, didn't see that coming.
Still in the chop zone here. Like I said, if I only take one trade today, that's a huge win versus me getting chopped up, trying to go long, then short, then long, then short. Right now, if it ends, excuse me, if we're under this 2-bar, the previous 5-minute 2-bar, then bias is short. If we're above it, or if we're where we are right now, then bias is trying to get into a long. 30 seconds on this 5-minute candle.
2038. Would you mind taking a peek real quick, Deanna? I know you were flirting with gold a couple weeks ago, so if you don't mind taking
Today, also because I've got limited screen real estate, it's not that easy to track multiple products, but I'll give one a peek. We are still in the same contract, aren't we?
I get J.
Yeah.
That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 failed 2s in a row on the 5.
Either, so I'm just doing this like a trackpad.
ZZZ. I know exactly what your review is. You lit us up really hard, which is fine. But we can make it good. And just because Ben didn't get back to you right away, we will make it good. There's a long one. I read it this morning, like 4 in the morning. Like, why is somebody? It's fine if you want to give a bad review, but this is like light up city. And I don't know. We do ban people ZZZ
All right, I'm taking one risky trade here, 24.75 short. Reason is I'm looking for it to break. It just did break that change of character. Looking for it to break this one here too at 11. Bouncing off that VWAP there at 5. If it doesn't go 2 down here on the 1, then I'll hop out. Up about 4 points right now. But if it's going to chop, I'm not in that. Not in here for the chop. All right, go and break even here now. So if it goes 2-1-2 up, I'm out. All right, adding in short here, 21.75 average. And I'm going to go probably break even. A little bit here at 7 points. There's 10 points. Two, 1-2 down there on the 15 now. All right, all out. All right, 1 for 2 today. Just couldn't keep going there. That's a wick of pre-market lows there on the 5 on ES. Was able to pull out 1R there. Failed 2-2 there. I'm trying along here. 27.50, 20 points. Looking for the outside bar on the 5.
Yeah, it's because of the size. It's the size. The other day in the park, I have a Pomeranian mom, so she's like a mom.
Closing 5 points.
And she's
I'm going to call it there.
she's still a small dog. And the other day there was this like a greyhound, massive, maybe even a lurcher. I don't know, but it was a big dog. And
Pretty choppy day. No need to risk more than I have to here, so I just don't. I don't think there's a move until we clear one of these outside bar. So I'll give you those levels: 18.04550, and then the low, the daily trigger, 17.946. If we go under 17.946 on the daily time frame, so it doesn't necessarily mean it has to happen today, but on the daily time frame, we're looking at 17.676. So 300, almost 300 points, 275 points from that low. But right now we're just sitting in a chop box, so took a little less than half our loss there. So gonna go ahead and take my. It's gonna end up a red day unless I see something attractive later. But red right now, but very slightly red. So no bother. Friday was a really good day, and today I realized it wasn't moving and didn't get chopped up. So good day for me overall. Ending red right now, but if I see something attractive, I'll throw it in the channel, and I'll chat about it hopefully before, but we'll see. Yeah, like Easy said, if you scraped green, great job. I am not green right now, but very slightly red, and that'll be more than made up in a trade or two tomorrow. So I will see you all here tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. If you're gonna keep trading, make sure you use stop losses. Don't blow your account one trade. That's silly. I'll see y'all here tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.